Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, Queens, to the Slay to Success show. This is your Slay Queen, Rochelle Hemingway. And here I am, the CEO and founder of Slay to Success. And you all know what this is about. This is a leadership and transformational consultant type business that I am involved with. And I'm empowering you with strategies, tools, and techniques specifically surrounded by leadership, wellness, and mindset to help you step up and into that next big whatever that is, that dream, that goal, that role or position, or those aspirations that you have been looking down on with 10x confidence. All right. And we're going to use the SLAY framework, which is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you, my queen, are built to last. And I am coming with you all with lessons and trials and tribulations, if you will, throughout my 30-year military career experiences in the United States Air Force and now beyond. So welcome to the Slay to Success show. And so tonight, we're in for a special treat. I will not be here for very long, but I do want to come to you about this topic that I am tapping into quite often now. All right. And this is the concept or the theory of digging deep. Okay. We got to dig deep. Now, I put a quote in the actual description of today's discussion, and it says, your mind will quit 1,000 times before your body will, because we sometimes look at that fear. So we have to feel the fear and do it anyway. All right, we're going to do it anyway because we all know in here, okay, we are women who have had many experiences, many things that have happened to us. And I wouldn't say to us, for us. And so now we are out and about and we are sharing and we are caring. Okay. And so tonight I want to talk about really what digging deep means, because we all know this mind is the most powerful thing that we have. Now, if you are in here and you are listening in, and I can't see on the comments in Facebook because for whatever reason, it doesn't speak well from StreamYard to Facebook. So if you're in here, I'm looking at my phone right now to see if you're actually here so I can give you a shout out. So if you're tuning in live with me tonight, thank you so much for being here with me. And if you come back, just go ahead and put down hashtag replay. Now, I know my queens are busy out here, okay? And we got a schedule and we got so many things happening all at one time. So I understand if you are not here, but this will be here for you at any point in time that you feel that you need a little bit more inspiration and motivation to go out and to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it. And it is whatever you said that you were going to do. But our mind, it is a powerful thing, y'all. And it could be good and it could be bad at the same time. It's bad when we let it take over, and meaning these negative thoughts, maybe these negative thought patterns or habits that we've created, and we let them ruminate and then they hold us back all the time from going out and doing what we say we want to do. But if we dig really deep, y'all, into that core of our thoughts and those behaviors, we can develop our EQ. And you know what EQ is? EQ equals emotional intelligence. And we use our mind to actually push us forward instead of bringing us all the way back. Because we are so much capable, much more capable when we believe in ourselves. And sometimes we quit too early. Okay. Now, as all of you know, I started out on my entrepreneurial journey, and I like to use that word because it sounds so like, I don't know, like like distinguished, if you will. And so I'm on this entrepreneurial journey, and there are times when I just want to quit and I just want to throw in the towel and say, you know what, enough's enough. I've done enough already. Why should I even continue on? But I tap right back into the arsenal of whys I'm doing this. So if you are in a job or if you're in a space where you're thinking to yourself, why am I here? What am I doing? This is cause for us to stop and take a pause and really understand that we sometimes quit too early. When the tough gets tough, sometimes we just say, you know what, I'm good. All right. And we stop pushing ourselves because we've reached that threshold maybe of growth. And we let this fear keep us stuck in the same spot. And so sometimes we are not able to even move. And so we get comfortable. Okay. We get comfortable in the place and the space that we're in. And so we never really see outside of that. And that is not a trait of a slay queen. Okay. As a slay queen, we know that we have to constantly find ways to learn, to grow, develop, and expand our mind. So, what we need to do is to really dig deeper within ourselves. So, what does it mean to dig deep? This means we got to tap into the resources that are available to us. And it's the ability to look inside of ourselves, see our potential, and use it to reach our goals, to live out our values, and to overcome these obstacles. Okay. And it refers to our resiliency, our ability to bounce back after these setbacks, and we dig deep, which really requires a growth mindset, a willingness to get uncomfortable in order to change and improve. Now, I said a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. I wrote down a lot of things for today's topic. And really, what this means is that we have to take the time and effort, all right, to think about what we already have inside of us, our God given talents, if you will. What do we have that we can definitely use to our advantage? And yes, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know how many times I was uncomfortable while sitting at decision making tables while I was still in the military. Sometimes, often enough, being the only one at the table and wondering what I was saying was whether or not it's going to be receptive, that it was going to yield the right outcome, that my message was being but pushed forward where people can actually see, oh, okay, we understand the value, okay, of making the right decision in here. So we all have goals, okay? Now I know we talk about goals all the time. Maybe some of y'all got a whole list of goals, big or small goals, if they are, and some of them aren't easy to reach. All right. Some of them require like a 10-point process. Some of them require time. All right. And so it takes effort, it takes determination and persistence and tenacity. Most of us have many goals that we have not reached yet. Meaning me, all this conversation that I'm having is conversations that I'm having with myself. This is not only just for me, but and for you, but it really is about the people that are around us. And we have other people within our span of reach that we're trying to motivate or inspire in some way. We can talk about this. So we pass this along, y'all. Okay. Don't be afraid to share this. Not because we don't reach these goals, not because we don't have the capability, we just don't dig deep enough to actually realize our potential, our fullest potential. So we know Maslow's hierarchy of needs. On the very, very top of the pyramid is self-actualization. And that's where we are humming and our full potential. We quit, y'all, because we think we are unworthy or we are unable. And sometimes we lack the motivation to continue because we believe failure means we can't, rather than using it as a lesson to be better. All right. So when I was growing up, all right, in the King household, all right, because that's my maiden name, y'all, my dad would not allow us to use the word can't. Okay. Can't was not a word in our household because it kind of subliminally tells you that, if you can't do something, you don't even try. And so when you get into that type of mentality, like, I can't do that, all right, if you can't do something, it's because maybe you physically can't do it, right? But mentally, we can press through so much more. So when we get to the core of who we are as a person and what we want out of this life, this only life that we have, we be on our way to setting these goals, these dreams, these positions, roles, or aspirations. We set these things on fire. And you know that I love my emoji fire. Okay. So we have to continue to get to the core of who we are and doing some inner work and some self development to really figure out what do we want out of this life and then start getting after it. So we can talk about digging deep all day long. All right. I can probably give you like a 2 or 3 hour lecture on digging deep. But I bet you want to learn what it takes. What does it really take to dig deep? All right. What does it really take to have that grit to face the challenges? Whether that's pushing through a hard workout, motivating yourself to get to your training session, or facing these life inevitable hardships. Now, let me talk to you about exercise. Some of y'all are probably like, I'm agitated by her talking about exercising because that's not what I'm doing right now. All right. Good evening, Queen. Hey, Cherise. Welcome to the Slate to Success show, my queen. Thanks for joining me live. So, we're talking about digging deep and reaching for these goals. And what does it really take? It takes grit. Okay. What is grit? All right. I call it the bite down. All right. Sometimes we have to bite down to get to what we need to do. That means that we have to just tell ourselves, will ourselves to get to a point that we get this extra strength. All right. I remember doing PT tests. Some of y'all are, either still in the military or have retired from the military or have heard of the physical fitness test in the military. And that last lap on a 1.5 mile run is for me was pure grit. It meant that, you know what? My lungs are probably going to blow out. I'm going to probably taste blood because my everything's on fire. My legs are about to fall off. I feel like I am not going to make it, but I'm going to use everything within me. I'm going to use every body cell that's within me to transfer this energy to where it needs to go so I can cross that finish line and do it with the utmost pride without passing out. And so we have to have these challenges. I get challenged every day in my workouts. I have very intense workouts. Half the time, I can't even do what the instructor does. I try my best. All right. And I tell myself, hey, you know what? You showed up today. And I think that is one of the hardest things to do is to actually show up and actually do the work. But it takes determination. It takes discipline. All right. I don't want to always do the things that I do in my exercise routine, but I know that if I do it, I don't only feel good from my body, but from a mental standpoint. So when we're trying to reach our goals and we're trying to really dig deep to reach these goals, I want you all to keep in mind a few things. Number one, let's stop comparing ourselves to other people. You just need to compare yourself to you. There's certainly not anything wrong with some healthy competition. I'm down for that. All right. But we really need to tend to focus much of our energy on others and not enough energy on ourselves. So this is where we get into this whole thing like we ain't good enough. We ain't ever going to get this thing right. Why even bother? All right. So sometimes we see people doing things and they're like 10 steps, 20 steps ahead of us. They are all down the road. And we're always thinking, well, we can't be at that level. Where do you think they started at, y'all? They didn't start from the get-go. I don't think the people that actually did, are doing, like absolutely amazing things and whatever craft they have, they started from a certain experience, all right? And they worked themselves up to that. So sometimes we're looking on social media, which social media nowadays, I'll tell you what, people are showing themselves like they got perfect bodies out here. They've got like all the right resources. They got all the nice homes. They got all the nice cars. They have all these incredible skills and so forth. But we don't really get to see the behind the scenes if this is true, because some of that stuff ain't true. All right. I hope that y'all ain't like gullible enough to think that some of these folks that are out here on social media are actually the people that they are, because they're really not. Some of them are faking it and they are not living a true life. All right. But for the folks that are actually had put in the work, you don't know what's behind the scenes. You don't know how many times it took them to do the video. You don't know how many times it took them to edit. You don't know what it took for them to actually get on camera. All right. So sometimes that, you have the flip side to that. Sometimes it could be like, well, you out here, you're showing like not your true self, but other times they are, and it takes a lot of effort. And we don't get to see that. So not everyone is on the same level. Okay. Not everyone is doing the same things that you're doing, and you're not always doing the same thing that somebody else is doing. What I want us to all to realize that we are our biggest competitor. We are competing against who we were yesterday. Okay. So the goal is to work toward a better version of ourselves, giving ourselves grace. All right. Each and every day, when we get up and we're breathing in the air, we get to say, okay, we can make ourselves better today. So we got to dig deep and determine who and where we want to be. And then ask ourselves, what can we do today to get closer to that goal? What can we do today to get closer to that dream or that aspiration? All right. And finding the answer and getting after it, which means we about to take some action. Okay. So always continually thinking about this. This digging deep is a cycle of positive mental attitude that's just circling around all the time in your mind, and you're like pushing forward to get to these goals. So when we find our whys, okay, because we always say that we need to find our whys and we need to like point to the whys and we need to think about the whys. But sometimes some of us don't know why we're doing what we're doing. But when we do find the why, when it comes to our goals, we have to be stating our whys, meaning we have to find our mission. Okay. In the military, again, mission was just an everyday word. Okay, what is the mission? Okay, what are we working towards? All right, what steps are we going to take? What are the processes and the systems that we're going to get to this mission? All right, so we got to determine. Hey, Chevy, welcome on in, my queen, to the Slay to Success show. Tonight we're talking about digging deep. All right, we digging deep. So we got to determine what our goals mean to us and how they will impact our life and not anybody else's life, y'all, and the lives of others, and how we will help to live out our values. So the word mission, it is a deep word, y'all. It's a deep word because it has deep meaning. It just doesn't encompass our whys and our purpose, but it helps to envision the journey of working towards our goals. What is the journey? What does that look like for you? Again, everyone is different. And so a mission is just isn't something that you want, it's something that we get up and we get to do. All right. So if you're feeling me on this conversation, put something in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. So again, I'm using my personal experiences to kind of share, kind of how I think and where my insights and my perspectives come from. So, again, I used to weigh 200 pounds, y'all. And y'all know that my journey, my weight loss journey has been years and years and years. Like every day is something that like, I have to think consciously about. Okay. What am I going to be eating? How I'm going to exercise, making sure I get enough rest, listening to my body and giving it what it needs. Those are constant thoughts that I have. Right. So, when I initially started out, okay, losing weight, it was I just want to lose weight. Period. Okay. I don't care whatever it takes. I want to lose 50 pounds. And I lost the 50 pounds and more. So what after that? Okay, it's okay. I get to fit in a pair of jeans that's been in my closet that I couldn't wear. But digging a little bit deeper, I just found out it's not all about me. Years later, the losing the 50 pounds, 60 pounds wasn't really about me. Okay, it was deeper than that. I can breathe easier. I can walk easier. I can feel better. I can, go and have energy and do some things that I never thought I would be able to even do. I've even inspired some members in my own family to get up and take control of their health and have a healthier lifestyle. I've even encouraged complete strangers that I have met, that just share, and talk about my journey to reach their goals. Okay, so building confidence is something that I am, like uniquely intact with. My determination, my ability to push myself to places that I never thought was possible because I have done it before. It's almost now as an addiction. Like I want to do that for the rest of my life. So maybe losing those 60 pounds that I've lost just makes me a better parent, okay? Makes me think about the future, how I want AJ to look at his health and look how we can, do better for the next generation. Yes, our actions can motivate others. That's why, okay, so we're going to take it on back. Thank you, Chevy, for putting that in. Leadership is the same thing. Y'all know I can talk leadership all day too, okay? Leadership is the same exact way. We as leaders can motivate others by the actions that we demonstrate each and every day. We get to choose what we do each and every day. And when we make the decisions to act in a certain way to where it's in a positive view and it's yielding the right results, Lord have mercy, anything is possible. So we have to make sure that our mission is what we say that our mission is, and we got to carry it out with grace and with grit. With grace and with grit. Okay? So no matter what we're trying to do, whether it's reaching a leadership goal professionally, personally, a fitness goal, living out our passions, striving for a career that we, want to get to, chasing down our dreams, don't expect it to be rainbows and chocolate bridges, y'all. All right. I live in reality. There are not a lot of chocolate bridges and rainbows in my journey here in this next phase of life. It is pure hard work and determination that I'm given. So there are going to be times where we don't feel like we are where we're supposed to be and where we want to just give up and where we consider whether or not if it's really worth it. But we've got to trudge through this. We have to get going. We have to figure out when the tough gets going. Oh, I don't even know what the saying is, y'all. You know what the saying is. If you know what the saying is, go ahead and put it in the comments. All right. But when the tough gets tough, the tough gets going. I think that's what it is. So we have to dig deep and we have to remind ourselves of the mission. What did we say we want to do? And we got to believe in what we can do and get through it. And these challenges are going to help us grow and become a better human being. And understand that nothing worth having comes easy, ever. Okay, so imagine the sense of fulfillment and accomplishment we'll feel when we are overcoming the hard parts. Challenges are all part of the journey. They're all part of the journey. We don't have to necessarily like them. I know I don't, but we have to embrace it and we have to just trudge through them and it will be worth it in the end. I honestly believe that. So tonight's discussion is about really digging deep and going off the quote from the very beginning. Our minds will quit 1,000 times before our body will. We got to feel the fear and we got to do it anyway. We got to push through. We have to dig through. Our mind is the most powerful thing that we have. And when we know that we can tap into our core, to reach our full potential, we are capable of doing so much more, and we start to believe in ourselves. And then before too long, what we thought was tough is actually easy. Okay. And then we can just spring from there. So Chevy says, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So let's stop comparing ourselves to other people and compare ourselves to ourselves. All right. It's you against you. That is it. Everyone is at different levels. Again, I used to try to tell folks, please do not look at my chapter 30, okay, as like, well, how she get here? I'm like, well, you didn't see chapters 1 through 29. Was looking real crazy. Even chapter 30 was looking crazy, right? So even that's right, run your own race. Got a Facebook user here. Thank you for joining me tonight, my queen. It says run your own race because no one else knows the pace that you need to be going on your own race. Again, spinning off of that, if you are a runner, because I like to think of all these things in like this fitness element, because that's how my brain operates, y'all. All right. When you're a runner, you just don't go out and sprint when you're trying to do a 10K, all right, or a half a marathon or a full marathon. If you sprinting out at the gate, then you probably ain't gonna have enough energy towards the end. And so you can't look at somebody else's pace and say, you know what, I'm just gonna start running the way they are. You probably ain't gonna make it. You have to go on what you know, what your capabilities and your limitations are. And then we have to find our mission, all right? We have to constantly look to our mission, figure out, okay, what is it that I need to do to carry this out with grace and grit? And then we have to just go through it, all right? As messy and as ugly as it can look, we still just got to drudge through it, all right? Because we know we're going to have a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment at the end, and anything worth having, all right, isn't easy. So, this has been your discussion, if you will, on Digging Deep with your slay queen, Rochelle Hemingway. You all know, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. And this is a leadership and transformational consultant service type business where we are using it as a mission, ministry, and mindset work that we do. All right. And it's all leadership focused. And so, I have mentorship programs, I have courses, I wrote a book, I'm out speaking. All right. And so I strongly believe that when we come together one day, we will all come together. I am so like visionary on this, of a conference or a symposium or something to where we all come and we empower one another collectively. Man, the power that is going to be, we will be unstoppable. So have a great and amazing night. Again, if you're in the DMV area, I have a women's empowerment luncheon on the 12th of August, all right, from 12 to 3 p.m. And you can find that on the link. And if you have not signed up for my emails, please, my queen, sign up. I'm trying to get as many email subscribers as I can, all right, to progress in this business. So I love you all. Keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. Thank you for being here live. And if you come back, put in hashtag replay. Bye-bye. Love you.